Hello, this vlog of mine captures the process of swapping brake and clutch pedals on the Fanatec Clubsport V3. I've just summarized the order of things that you need to do. So here I am at the first instance where I'm trying to undo the end plate, and these screws are quite tightly fastened. So I'm going to speed through this process where I undo the screws. They are, as I said, quite difficult, and here is the last three screws for the end plate. But as you will see next, that there is another screw which bolts onto the steel plate, which holds the rear of the pedals. So if you look at your pedals, there is two steel tubes, so as to speak, which holds the front and the back of the pedals. So here is me figuring out that I have to undo another screw. So I pick up my trusty old sock that I use. So I'm going to fasten this up, and there we are. That's the end plate off. You got to be careful because there are some forces involved here, especially the steel plate or the steel tube in the middle, which holds the base of the pedals. It's got a bit of tension to it, so you will see the screw attached to it get to a bit of an angle. So this is me trying to take out the clutch pedal off the base plate, and as you can see, you got to be really careful, because what I did, which I said during the summary of or the order of things, is to undo the cables. I obviously didn't do that up front, so you have to be careful when you undo the pedal itself from the base. There you go, that's a separator or a spacer, you want to call that, that space that lies between the clutch and the brake pedal. And as you can see, once I'm done with the spacer, I'm trying to now undo the cable which connects the clutch with the base pedal. Next is to undo the rumble motor which is attached to the brake pedal. So this is the most intricate part of the disassembly, because the cable for the rumble motor is quite tight when it comes to shuffling it around. So make sure you take absolute care whilst you're undoing the rumble motor, and be gentle, take your time, and make sure the rumble motor comes off and it's dangling quite safely on the side. And whilst you're doing that, you also need to notice that the brake piston is going to come off, because now that the tension from the base of the pedal plate is released, brake pedal can move freely now. So as you can see, I'm trying to find the right angle to get the rumble motor out. Another thing that you need to make sure you do is undo the piston, the brake piston, where you need to first undo the set screw which holds the brake piston in place, and once you undo the piston, then you can release the cable that's attached to the brake pedal's rumble motor, so that comes off completely free of the pedal itself. Because, as I said, the cable is the length of the cable is quite tight, as it's presumed not to be moved around, but as you can see, the piston came off. So I've got the performance kit installed, and that's the reason why you see the red is it called, polyurethane material popping out of the brake pedal assembly. But now I've loosened the set screw. All I have to do is push the steel pin holding the brake piston out. It just, it slides off, so it's a pretty easy process. If you've installed the brake performance kit, you know how to undo this. So set this aside, because obviously you need to reattach that when you're assembling the pedal back. So here you go. The motor, the rumble motor is off, and now I can safely undo or remove the brake pedal, and there we are. Make sure again, place the rumble motor carefully aside, still attached. We're not undoing any cable, and then we move on to reassembling, I suppose, all the bits back into its place. So that's the base of the brake pedal. Again, be careful. Again, you'll have to undo the cable before you can pull out the brake base, because again, the wire is quite short. So again, be gentle, be careful, make sure you do things right. And I believe after this I'm gonna speed through the video as I faff around to make sure I get this right sequence of spaces, because the spaces for the clutch pedals are quite different to the spaces for the brake pedal base. Make sure you either take a picture or go look at the manual to figure out the spaces, and that is exactly what I do here, where I bring out my manual, and as well as I believe I do go on the Fanatec's website to get those spaces right. So now I'm putting the clutch pedal in, so obviously the base goes, they need to go together, the top and the bottom, if you want to call that. Again, make sure that the spaces are in, and the spaces need to go inside those bases, and once they're in, you will feel, or you can see them sitting properly on the steel tubes. So as I speed through the video, as you can see, I can bring out the manual, and then I put the spacers in first, and then next would be the spacer which separates the brake and the clutch. So here we go with the base of the brake pedal, which holds the rubbers or the polyurethanes, whatever the material is, and trying to figure out the missing bit. Again, as I said, it's back to those rings that sit outside or in between the base spaces and the base of the pedals. So if you've not noticed, the base of the throttle pedal has got the gold inserts where they attach to the base steel tube, whereas the brake doesn't have any. So that's what I got confused, and I again go back to the manual and double verify that I am putting things the right way around. Now that the base of the pedal as well as base of the back of the brake pedal are attached, and I was comfortable with the way they are spaced, the next thing was to attach the rumble motor. Now the key thing here is, if you've got the faceplate, which is different, or the additional spare faceplate that you get to get additional angle, that has to come off, because when you mount the rumble motor this time around, it has to be facing upwards So either you'll need another bracket, or if you don't have another bracket, then you'll have to make do with the bracket that you have, and make sure that the rumble motor is facing upwards, such that if you have a what's it called, a damper installed, then it doesn't hit the base of the damper. So having done that, now I move on to the very tricky piece of attaching the end plate. Again, this is very tricky. I struggled a lot. So the key thing here is mount the outer screws, or the screws that are at either end of the base plate or the side plate, and leave the middle one as it is, because that will require some brute force to align it to screw things up. So having done that, this is how the assembly looks like, and I'm pretty pleased how it turned out. Again, as you see, the cable sticks out, but it's ideal, and I hope you enjoy watching.